Hello, everybody. It is the 13th, I believe. What is today? Saturday, yeah, 13th of January, 2024. I'm out here in the cold and the wind, but it's sunny out and I just couldn't resist. I feel better now. I didn't feel so good this morning fighting this cold, but we're going to do something out here. So let me just switch around to tell you what I'm going to try to do today in my little bit of time. All right, first of all, I've given up on the idea of trying to use the original choke stove design that goes down here and everything. It's just too much hassle. I'll have to spend even more money to get that fixed. So people have suggested I convert to electric choke. So I'm gone ahead and done that. I just went ahead and ordered one that'll replace this thermostatically controlled. Well, I guess it's still somewhat thermostatically controlled, but it runs off the 12-volt power source. So that'll be an easy switch. So if the choke isn't here by the time I'm ready to try and start the engine, I can still operate it manually, the choke. Uh, so another part coming eventually. The only thing I did yesterday that I didn't film was I topped off the transmission fluid level in the power steering reservoir. It took quite a bit actually, which is a good thing because that means it filled up the steering gear probably when I was cranking the engine the other day. Still don't see any water leaks anywhere. The water level is still full in the tank, which is good. Oil's still full. So what I'm going to do right now is install the spark plug wires. I'll also try and install the wiring harness that goes on top of the engine and keep working my way toward engine start. We had more rain last night too, so I'm really working in the water on this side of the car, trying not to spend much time on that side. Also wanted to mention I went to the hardware store this morning and got a replacement bolt that goes on the fan, and I also got a wing nut that'll be for my carburetor air cleaner that'll hold that air cleaner down. I didn't have a wing nut to go with that before. I also bought some of this conduit that has a split down the side to put my wiring harness inside of on top of the engine. I didn't realize I actually had one complete tube for the choke heater in my junk box. Didn't even know I had it. It's actually usable, and but that's only one tube and it needs two. So again, I'm not messing with that. I've already ordered electric choke. This is the wiring harness that goes on top of the engine. It's kind of a mess as far as the installation goes, or the conduit, or whatever you want to call this. That's why I bought some new stuff here. I'm going to cut all this old stuff off and just encase it with this new stuff, make it look a little nicer and protect it. The spark plug wires are now installed. The little zip ties there are, of course, temporary till I get some proper keeps to keep the wires, organized and whatnot. Right now, I'm just keeping them together to keep them off the hot exhaust manifold. I say I didn't do a very good job over here, so I need to work on that a little bit more. But anyway, that's temporary. So next, I think I'll do the coil. I also have the center screw there for the air cleaner hold down, and I've got the last bolt on there. And once again, it's a different size than the original. It's a 1/2 inch head instead of a 7/16, but the threads are fine, and that's all I care about. So, all right, the coil is now installed. I put my little leads inside that conduit that I bought today. That makes it look so much nicer, and I feel like it protects the wiring too somewhat. So I've got those secured on the coil. The spark plug wires are done, so now I'm going to work on that wiring harness next. Goes on top of the engine. All right, this is going to conclude it for today, I think. I actually got my wiring harness installed, plugged in. You can see it's all covered in the conduit there that I bought today. That looks a whole lot better, and I feel like it protects the wiring some too. Hopefully it does. I still have to secure it to the valve covers with those little clips, but for now it's fine. Everything's plugged in. I got the coil hooked up to this wiring harness and to the Pertronix ignition. The oil pressure sensor switch is hooked up. Water temperature is hooked up. So all the wiring on the engine, to my knowledge, is now complete. Cooling system is complete. Ignition system is complete. All the linkage is hooked up. Carburetor rebuilt. Distributor rebuilt. We're real close to going for engine start. I think the last thing I need to do before I can actually attempt engine start is to hook up a makeshift gas tank. I'm just going to use, a 2-gallon container strapped to the hood, to the fender over there, with the hoses hooked up to the existing fuel pump. So that could happen as soon as tomorrow, Sunday. Much depends on the weather and how I feel and all that. It's going to be cold. That's probably not the best time to try and start an engine, but that's what the choke is for, right? And starter fluid. So getting real close. So if I do attempt it tomorrow, of course, I'll have all my what I have for diagnostic equipment hooked up, my timing light, my voltmeter. I guess that's really about all you need, all I have anyway. So very exciting, very, very close. I don't remember if I mentioned this or not, but I did unpack one of those mufflers yesterday, and they do fit pretty well. They're pretty close, so I'm gonna definitely jerry rig that as best I can when I get the resonators, which I also bought from eBay. So I'll eventually have an exhaust system that should work well enough. But I'm signing off for the day. Thank you.